Happy Monday to my awesome Wholesale to Million YouTube family. You guys, we're back with another subscriber first wholesale deal interview. I hope you guys had a great weekend. So for those of you who are new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. If you do enjoy this interview and hopefully it'll add some value to you, then do remember, don't be shy. Smash that thumbs up for me. And if you recently closed your first wholesale deal, drop me a comment with your email or email me at wholesale2millions@gmail.com, and let's get you onto the show to share your story and your first wholesale deal. And the whole reason why we're doing this is because, it's to inspire and motivate those of you who haven't done your first wholesale deal and letting you know that it's possible for every one of us to be able to do this business as long as you're willing to put in the hard work, all right? So today, you guys, I'm having Eric from PA, Pennsylvania, to come on and share with you guys his first wholesale deal that he recently closed in June of 2018. He actually closed 2 deals, one for $2K and one for $3G. So, Eric, what up, buddy?
What's up, Khang? Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you so much, man. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Hey, before we get into it, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. It was all right. I looked at a few properties, showed a couple homes, so it was pretty solid.
Look at a property. You didn't go out party or anything, dude?
Nah, I don't party.
Entrepreneur, dude. We're all about, sacrificing, doing what we need to do, grow our business, working on ourselves, so that way we can get to a better future, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. 100%. I'm with that.
Oh. Awesome, man. Hey, Eric, first of all, before we get into it, dude, I want to say thank you so much, man, for taking your precious time to jump on to do this with me.
Yeah, no, thanks. Like I said, I appreciate it, you having me on the show.
And the thing is, you guys, when I do this kind of interview, there's no affiliate, there's no, hey, I pay you or nothing like that. I want you guys to understand that whether I'm doing a powerhouse interview or whether I'm doing one of these, there's no affiliate, there's no nothing. It's just getting people on to share with you guys real true story and how they got it and how they made it. All right. So Eric, dude, let's jump right into it, man. Share with everybody. Obviously, you look super young, dude. So share with everybody kind of your stories, right? I want to know, like, when I say people's stories, I want to know financially, situation-wise, where you're at, and then how it lead you to wholesaling and how you do your first deal, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, pretty much my whole story was, I was flipping homes. My dad, he started flipping homes maybe like 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. When he started that business, I started, with him doing the renovation work. So it was me and one other guy. We did all the work ourselves. So I learned the whole pretty much back end, which really going into property when it's getting rehabbed. And, I learned so much from that. I did that for about 3 years. And then after that, my brother, he actually discovered wholesaling. And we just got into it from there.
Dude, so your dad was flipping houses?
Yeah, he's still flipping houses. Yeah, but that's kind of how I got into, I guess, like the real estate world and started learning about, houses and stuff like that.
So how long ago was that?
It was about 3 years ago.
Okay. So 3 years ago, what were you doing with your dad?
Yeah, no, let me say this. It was 3 years ago when it started. So I actually got into wholesaling last February. We discovered it, and then it took about 6 months, to close our first deal, 5 months roughly, like June, to close our first deal.
Awesome, man. Okay, so you got into wholesaling in February of 2018.
Yeah. Yep.
Now now I know that you said you mentioned your dad been flipping houses for about 4 years now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So when did you initially start with your dad? Was it 3 years ago?
Yeah, it was 3 years ago, and then up to this past last February is when pretty much I stopped working for him and discovered wholesaling and just tackled that full time.
Sure, man. So what were you doing with him? Or were you a general contractor? What were you?
Yeah, I was pretty much doing all the work. Me and one other guy. We did the entire rehab ourselves. Me and the other guy. So I learned a lot about houses.
Dang, bro. So hey, Eric, you don't have to tell me, man. But how old are you, dude? You look super young.
I get that a lot. Yeah, I'm only 22. So.
Okay, gotcha, man. Dang. So you actually got into it work, what, 19, 18, 19?
Yeah, it was like 18 going on to 19.
Dang, bro. So I suppose you graduated?
Yeah, I went to high school. College was never my thing. I kind of always knew, I wanted to own a business or do something, by myself. I didn't want a job. So I was just patient. It took me 4 years to discover my passion in wholesaling, but, I finally found that, this niche, and, I love what I'm doing now.
Awesome, man. So now, after you graduated, you didn't want to pursue college at all?
No, I knew college wasn't my thing. I mean, I was terrible in high school, so bad I hated school. I always knew it wasn't for me. I know there's more for me, and I just had to be patient with it.
Smart, dude.
Yeah.
You're the smart one, bro. You're the smart one. Didn't waste the next 4 to 8 years of your life getting into college debt and then come out and then start making money at that time. You want to, like, at 18 just start making money and build your own business.
Exactly. I've always been about, doing what you love to do, and I found that thing finally.
Smart, bro. Congrats, dude. Just that. I want to say congrats, dude.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that.
Because you know how I am with school.
You don't like it?
What?
You don't like school?
Oh, bro, dude. Hated school, dude. Hated school, bro. So let me tell you 2 things that I don't like about school. Well, first of all, when I'm in school, I was like, I get picked on, and also too is I was just very, very like I was so insecure about myself where when and sorry to get a little off topic, you guys, but when I was in class and when there's presentation day, I would actually, like makes excuses where I get sick and don't show up. And also too is I hate lunchtime. And I'll tell you why I hate lunchtime. Because lunchtime, you go into the cafeteria and then you sit, and a lot of times I sit by myself, right? So what it is I actually go into my car and eat my meal in the car all the time. Because I didn't want to be sitting there, by myself, and sometimes I get picked on and all of that. So, and I was just not smart in school, right? I just, for me, it's like I didn't have any formal education like back when I was in my own country. Yeah. So, like, I can speak my own language, but I can't read or write. So coming over here, starting from nothing, again, trying to learn the language, the reading, the writing, I just knew that school wasn't for me, that I just knew that I'm just book stupid. Like, I'm just not smart. Yeah. And, but the one thing I do know is that I'm just willing to grind. I'm just willing to work.
Yeah.
So right when I was like junior high, dude, I was like 17. I was like, boom, I'm done, bro. Drop out, and I just drop out and be done with school.
Wow.
Right. But dude, this is not my time, bro. This is your time. So tell me what you discovered. You got into wholesaling in February of 2018. How did you discover wholesaling?
My brother, he came across like your video or someone's video on YouTube, just the concept, and he shot it to me. And it was funny because, I mean, I've been trying so many different things, like drop shipping on eBay, and just all these Shopify, a million different things, just trying to find that one thing that I really do enjoy. And then he sends over the wholesale, and for like a week or two, I was looking into it, but I was like, I don't even know if this is possible. Like, is this even legal? Just a bunch of, thoughts come into mind. But, then I was like, you know what, like, if, I think it was Jalen White, that kid, we saw his video. I was like, yo, he's around our age. I mean, if he could do it, we should give it a shot. Even if it takes us, 4 or 5 months, whatever it is, if we could just do one deal, to prove to ourselves that it's possible, then, let's go for it. We got nothing else going on. So that's what we did. It took 6 months to get that first deal. We put about maybe 3 homes under contract, 3 or 4, and none of them sold. And that was simply because they just weren't deals. We were afraid, I guess, to make such low offers, or we weren't accounting for different things as far as repairs or, stuff like that. So that was like our big mistake. And that's why it kind of took a little longer to, close our first deal, even though we were tying up. It was like our first month. We tied up at like our first home under contract in the first few weeks, but it wasn't a great deal. So that's why I wasn't selling.
I see. Okay.
Mhm.
So now tell us about your first deal. Kind of how did the seller contact you, or how do you contact the sellers and the buyers and all that?
So the first deal was I think I got an expired listings list from a realtor. I just asked them if they could send me that. I was white paging every single number, so I'm sure you know how long that could take. But we got them. It was a fire damaged home. They were living out of state. We made a good offer that time. They accepted the offer. And because the numbers worked, the first buyer we showed, he bought it. I apologize for the dogs.
Hey, no worries.
One second.
Hey, no worries, man. No worries.
So, like I'm saying though, yeah, we're good. So, like I was saying, because the numbers made sense, that's why we were able to sell it. Our first buyer, he pulled the trigger because the numbers made sense. And at that time, we just threw another one under contract that same week. He's like, all right, let me go see that one. And because the numbers made sense again, he pulled the trigger again, and he closed on both of those deals, pretty much, within the same time frame. So that was actually really cool.
Dang, bro. So you got the list from a realtor expired listing?
Yeah.
And then you basically skip trace, but using white pages.
Yeah, so we just type in every address, and then owners would come up, and we just start, because we had no money, to skip trace. It could be, expensive if you don't really have money to invest like that. So that was our cheapest route, $20 a month membership on white pages, and that was it.
Dang, bro. So the agent sent over the expired listing. You went white page and skip traced it. Now, how many calls did you call until you found that seller?
I think it was a list of like 700 people, or between like 700 and like 1,500 people. I don't remember. It was a while ago, but it was quite a few people. And I mean, per address, you get, a few people who may own the home. So you're going through all of those numbers. So it was a lot of calls, probably close to like 2,000 calls we made. So it's quite, yeah.
Dang, bro. See, the thing is, the reason why I am asking Eric the question, you guys, because some of you gave up at 100 call. Some of you gave up at 200 call. Some of you gave up at 300 call, etc. So persistent. Eric was just persistent, consistent, just keep on pounding it because he just want to find out one deal in there. And that's not even the time that he spent to actually go and research this. Bro, 2,000 call, dude.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
So this house was a fire damage house?
Yeah, it was fire damaged home. They had a fire. They live in New York, so from here in PA, it's like a couple hours away. It's just been sitting, so that's why they kind of just decided to dump it. They actually ended up not walking away with anything. They had like $47,000 on the mortgage. We sold it for I think like, I don't know, like 42 or 52, something like that. And they didn't walk away with anything. We made our fee, and that was that.
Gotcha, so man.
Interesting.
Gotcha. So now I just want to ask you, just really quick, is that when you make this cold call, how did your conversation start first? Like just a short, how do you start?
I mean, right from the get, we went in. I mean, me and my brother, we were practicing almost every night, just talking to sellers and, learning scripts and implementing our own ideas and stuff like that. But we always just kept it simple. I mean, a simple call would just be, hey, how's it going? My name's Eric. I'm looking to speak with the owner of, 123 Dogwood Drive. We noticed the home on an expired listings list. We see you had it, listed with the realtor, what went wrong. And then we would just try to figure out why it didn't sell and if there's a solution, that we could offer them. So that was kind of our whole, we kept it very simple.
Cool, man. Cool. So there is a mortgage on the property for $47K.
Yeah.
And the seller's willing to sell it for the amount that was owed.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So first, actually, our buyer, he wanted to assume the mortgage, and then the bank was giving him so much trouble. So then it ended up just being a cash deal. But
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha, man. So do you know if the seller already had did the insurance already pay the seller out?
To the
Do
what?
you know? Do you know if the insurance company already pay out for the fire damage?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that
Okay.
happened. Yeah.
Gotcha. And the reason why I asked that, Eric, because I actually, we actually closed on a couple of fire damage house, and a lot of times, like these sellers willing to sell them for like pretty cheap. And the reason why is because they already got some money from the insurance company, so they're good to go. So whatever they sell the property for, it's like extra. It's like cherry on top.
Hmm.
So that's why, that's the reason why I asked. So they owe $47K on it. And how long did you lock the property under contract with them for?
Every deal we do is just 30 days, unless it's like a big, deal or something like that. But it was just 30 days, under 30 days. We put it under contract. Buyer went to go look at it next day. He pulled the trigger, and that was that. Really, it was quick.
Wow, man. So you lock it on the contract for 30 days. Do you have to put up any earnest money?
No, I never do any deposits on my end. So I always tell my sellers, listen, once I have a buyer in place, then, he'll put a deposit in, but I never put any deposit down.
Eric, wait, dude, explain that a little bit more to me. So you actually tell the seller.
Yeah, this will probably be helpful because I see a lot of questions and stuff on comments and on Facebook where they're asking about the deposits. I tell every single seller, listen, we could do a $5,000, $10,000 deposit, anything you want, but it's once my buyer's in place. So, it's important to make sure they understand what wholesaling is and what exactly is going on, so they don't think I'm the buyer. So I made it very clear, the situation, how wholesaling works. And I just said, once my buyer's in place, that deposit will get, put into escrow and that'll be that.
So wait a second. So you actually tell the sellers and explain to them that you're actually going to wholesale the property?
Yeah, I never tell any seller that I'm buying it. I explain wholesaling. I tell them that I work with, a few hundred buyers and that they're the ones going to be closing on it, and, simple, just like that.
Oh, dang, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. And you have not had any problem of the seller?
There's been a few sellers where they're like, oh, I'm not doing that, but then I just sell them on why they need to do that. So it works out.
Dang, bro. Gotcha. Okay. So, and the reason why I asked that, you guys, is for those of you who want to take Eric approach, because I have question like that and comment like that all the time. Well, why don't we just tell the seller that we're wholesaling the property, blah blah blah. Maybe Eric has, so if you guys want to take that approach, maybe you can hit Eric up and he can explain to you. So 30 days, no earnest. Okay. And how do you found your buyers?
So the buyers were interesting. Right from the start, before we were even like fully understanding what wholesaling was, like the first thing we did was just build a buyers list. We posted, this might sound bad, but we posted, I guess, like fake deals, on Craigslist, Facebook, of discounted properties, and then they call, but we would just be like, oh, sorry, that one's gone. But listen, I get a lot of off-market deals. If you're looking to actively invest, I'll definitely have stuff for you in the future. Let me take down your info. And honestly, we probably got close to like 200 buyers just from that. It was crazy, the response we got. I was making probably like over 100 calls a day, just taking on inbound calls of people who want to buy. It was just insane. We were so backed up with how many people wanted to get on this buyers list. It was ridiculous. It was crazy.
Okay. So you post that ad, and Eric, the thing is that whatever you just said, dude, it's not bad at all. That's how I did it when I started. That's how I showed John, my student, how to do it. Is you got what is called fake ad or ghost ad, where you put something on there because your goal is to attract these buyers to call you, so that way you can put them on the list. And whatever Eric just said, it's exactly what I do. It's exactly what majority of people do to start building up their buyers.
A lot of people do it. There's some people that don't like that, but I think it's completely ethical. I think it's completely fine to do, because essentially you're really helping out these investors because you're going to bring them a ton of deals in the future. So I mean, I think it's the right move to make.
Absolutely, man. I mean, to me, I don't see there's anything wrong with that. You're not trying to, to me, there's nothing wrong with that at all, dude. So great job, bro. So you put that ad and you got like tons of buyers calling in, and that's where this buyer's coming from?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, every deal we get to, I always just throw it on Facebook and Craigslist too, just to meet new people. And believe it or not, I have had people buy for me off of that. But yeah, I think he was from the list.
Okay. So basically, so now the property is vacant. So you pretty much just set up, and now people were wondering, well, how do they get access to the property? So how do you get access to the property?
So they actually, because it was already a damaged home, they just said I could break in. So I broke in, the night before just to make sure I can get in, and that was that. But typically I'll just throw a lockbox on the home. They give me the key, I put a lockbox on so they could still go in and I can go in and, just keep it simple like that.
Sure, man. So now when you locked this property up on a contract in the first place, Eric, was it all done virtually? Like you've never seen the house, never seen the seller?
No, it was really close to me, very, very close. So I just, drove up to take a look. She didn't even have any photos, so that's why I had to go there to, check it out myself.
Gotcha, man. Okay, now let's run some numbers on this house really quick. Tell me quickly how many bedroom, bathroom, square foot.
It was a 3-2, like 1,200 square feet. It was a few months ago, but
Sure.
so I don't remember all the details, but I have some information right here. It was actually under contract for 45, and I think we sold it for 48. We made $2K, and buyer paid all closing costs.
So it's under contract for 45K. You sent it to your buyers or sold it for 48, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And what do you figure the rehab would be?
It was a small ranch home, so it was like roughly 30. The average flip like by us is like around 30,000 in updates.
Okay. So 30,000 for updating. And then what do you figure the ARV is?
It was like 115, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, like 115 roughly.
Okay, so 115. Hold on a second. So if we do 115 minus the 30%, that's 80 minus the 30K. So that puts you at about, so Eric got it under contract for a little bit less than the 30% rule, which is great. So you sent out for 48, the buyers would have, so about 50K. After I do the formula, you're sitting at 50K. The buyer got it for 48K. Buyers pay all the closing costs. So, hey, that's the $3,000 spread. How do you end up with 2,000?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I can't do math. We probably sold it for 47.
I'm sorry. Gotcha, man. So 47. So this buyers here got it for a little bit less than 30% off, which is a great deal for the buyers. ARV. And and how much did you had the buyers? So the buyer did the walkthrough with you, pretty much pulled the trigger on the same day. How much did you end up getting the deposit from the buyers?
That one actually, I don't think we did a deposit. A lot of the deals I've been doing, I just do no deposit, just because the sellers are okay with that.
No, I mean like, did you get the buyer to drop off a non-refundable for you?
No.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a good, point that you brought up. That was a good mistake I've made a few times where I didn't get a deposit in for whatever reason. They didn't drop it off, or we didn't ask for one. And then the buyer backs out, and you know what I mean? That deposit can really tie them up, it brings up a good story. This past week, I closed a decent deal. It was another fire damaged home. But the buyer, we were supposed to close the day before closing, the night before closing. We're supposed to close the next morning. The night before closing, the buyer calls me, says, listen, sorry, I can't get the funds together, like deal's off. And he never dropped that $5,000 deposit. He said he was going to drop off. And it's my fault that I didn't follow up with him to make sure. But, thankfully, literally the very next day, the day of closing, I showed a buyer that morning and we were able to close on it, which is just crazy. But it was a big lesson to learn, yeah. Make sure that's in.
Oh, dude. So basically the one buyer backed out and you found another buyer on the same day?
The day we were supposed to close, I had another buyer. It was a really good deal. So he wanted it, but I don't know. I sold that one over the phone to the guy who was supposed to close on it, but I had a bunch of people that wanted it. And then, the people that did want it, I just said, hey, it's available again. We got to close this week. Can you come check it out today? And he, sure enough, he came, looked at it, dropped off his deposit that day, and we closed just a couple days after.
Dang. And how much did you make off of that one?
It was supposed to be 15K with the first buyer, but then the second buyer's like, oh, you go with me the first time, so I better get some sort of discount. So I only made 10K off that one, but it was still right?
Dude, that's pretty good, man. Some people it takes them like 3 months to make 10 G's.
Yeah, no, it was good. I can't complain. So
awesome, man. So that's the thing, you guys, is that you got to make sure that the buyers drop off their non-refundable, so that way they have skin in the game. So something like this happens, and it happens to me when I first started as well. And if something like this happens, if the buyer backs out, okay, backs out, man, but you're going to lose your non-refundable deposit, and you want to get a big chunk. You want them to have a lot of skin in the game, so that way they can't back out. And if they do, it'll make sure that you can pay for your time. And also, too, if the sellers, you can pay for the sellers some money to extend it or whatever you need it to do to compensate for your time and the sellers if it end up going down where you can't close it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me see here, man. I just want to see if I have any other questions for you. I think that's pretty much it. So kind of share with everybody now. I know that this is back in June. How's your business now, dude?
It's going really good. I can't complain. I've just been putting, a lot of work in, and it's starting to pay off. So it's going good.
Tell me some numbers, dude. I want to hear some numbers.
As far as profits, or?
Yeah, man. I want to hear as far as profit, your marketing. What do you do now for marketing?
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, I could share a good story. So after the whole cold calling, it kind of got repetitive. We were making so many calls, so it kind of just became a headache. So once we had some money, we started buying bandit signs, and that was doing honestly crazy numbers. We were closing like 2 deals a month just from bandit signs, so that was doing good. And then recently, code enforcement or the police department called me complaining about the signs, and they just kept calling me, give us your info or I'm going to come arrest you, like just out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up deleting the bandit sign numbers, and now I'm actually going to probably dive back into cold calling this week on an auto dialer, just go back to the roots and, pound the phone out and get these deals coming. So that's where I'm at right now.
Nice, man. So, so now you're back into cold calling. Is that your only? As far as right now, is that the only marketing channel, or do you have other?
Yeah. So I was doing RBMs too, with the bandit sign. So it was like bandits, RBMs, which is good, but RBMs can kind of be expensive if you don't have the right numbers, or a lot of them weren't going through for whatever reason. But it's pretty much those two. But now I'm just going to stick to, cold calling, try and maybe do, I don't know, maybe like 1,000 calls a week, 1,500 calls a week. And I think that'll, generate some good revenue. And then from there, once I build up enough capital, I'm going to invest into, a virtual assistant. I met a few people now that I think, would be great, but it's just a matter of having that money to make sure it's, consistent enough so I could, make sure, I'm doing, I'm on my end of the duty of making sure they're getting their money and all that's going smoothly. So I'm just waiting to do that now.
Absolutely, man. So now, Eric, when you first started back in February, how many hours were you putting out per day? Just a rough number, man, per day into this wholesaling business.
Oh my gosh. Some days were like 16 hours. I'm obsessed with wholesaling. So it's like, that's all I want to do. And like every second was just wholesaling. Like, all right, I left construction, so every second of my day is going to be, working the phone. We were calling from, like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning to like 6, 7 o'clock at night. Just we were just pounding the phone, going crazy with it, running numbers, seeing houses, making offers, looking in, learning was a big, time consumer. We spent a lot of time doing our research on wholesaling and just learning as much as we can. So a lot of time to answer your question.
So man, so when you got into wholesaling, you pretty much quit the construction.
Yeah, I hated construction. I
So
hated
you
it.
quit and went at it full time.
Yeah, I had to. I had to just make the jump. Even though I had no money, I was like, I can't do this. I was going to work depressed. You know what I mean? Construction sucks. So
I feel you, man. I feel
yeah.
you. So when people say no money, I want to know exactly financially where you're at and what make you pull the trigger. Where were you at financially, man? You have a couple $100 in the bank. You have $0. You're naked. Like, well, where you at?
It was doing good. I had a few thousand, and then my car, took a shit, so I had to buy another car, and then I was back down to pretty much nothing. And I was
Dang, dude.
like, I'll work, part time with another guy I was doing construction with. I'll do weekend work for him just to, have some money coming in, and that was pretty much it. But I was pretty much broke 6 months.
You hate constructing that bad, huh?
I couldn't do it anymore. It was just so boring. Just, me and one other person putting in. It was long days, 7 in the morning to 5, 6 o'clock at night every single day. Breathing in dust, and I don't know, it wasn't fun.
Yeah, man. See, the thing is to me now, obviously, being blessed and being exposed and know how to do this wholesaling business, when I see people are actually, doing constructions or whatever it is, like really, truly labor. Now, to me, that is work. To me, like that is work. For us, man, we're sitting here on the phone, we're shooting some text and email, we're closing deals that can make 10, 20, 30, 40 G's. To me, dude, it's really not work, right? Because I compare myself where when I used to work, to me, that is work. Like I'm actually labor, hard work, right? So that's awesome, man. And that's, dude, you have balls, bro, for just, you know what? Boom, quit.
Yeah, I'm an all-in type of person, so.
Nice, dude. Nice. So Eric, for those that now, I guess any word that I guess first let's go with how do people reach out and connect with you if they are in the same area and want to start networking and doing deals and making money with you, bro?
Yeah, with the networking, I'd like to say this. It's a really big deal. It's like 66 units, one of the biggest buildings in my area. And I'm pretty much open to doing a joint venture with anyone. This would be a great building for a lot of uses, really. I mean, it could be multifamily maybe, but it really works well as maybe like senior living, because that's what it was just a few months ago before it went vacant. So it's like senior living. It could be a hotel. There's so many different things this building could be. There's huge potential with it. But I'm looking for a buyer right now. The fee's $200,000. So, I mean, anyone that would be interested in that, you could email me at wholesaleschmidt@gmail.com. That's just wholesale. My last name Schmidt, SCHMIDT. Or you could add me on Instagram, Eric_Schmidt96. And you can message me that way too if you'd be interested in anything like that. I need a buyer, so it's a big fee. So, I'm trying to make that happen.
Cool, man. So I'll make sure you guys, I'll drop that all in the description. So 200K for purchase price.
No. The fee's 200,000. The purchase price is 2 million.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, no, you're good.
So 2 million for the purchase price. The wholesale fee is 200K. And what's the estimated rehab on it?
It depends what you want to do to it, really. It's really not in bad shape. It was a senior living center just last year, a few months ago, honestly. And then what happened was this past winter, we lost power in this area. So all those people that were living there had to get relocated to another facility. So it's been vacant since then. The owner is not a business person by any means. She's a doctor. So she didn't really know too much about, running a business, managing a business. So it's just her time to get out of the situation. She's looking to sell quick. So, I mean, that's the whole deal.
Okay. So I guess what is it currently rented? I guess what are you getting total in rent?
Well, it depends. So you'd have to go through like a few variances if you wanted to turn it into an apartment complex. Senior living. So, the numbers really weren't working out for her. There's a lot of low income people. So that's why I say it works a lot better as a hotel or potentially a multifamily or a drug rehab center. There's a few different, options for it. So.
Gotcha. So you guys, if you guys want more details on this deal and hooked up with Eric and make some money, I'll make sure that I'll drop his link in the descriptions. Let's wrap this up, Eric. Any last word for anybody that are obviously starting out and haven't done their first deal and blah, 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 and to inspire and motivate and pump them up, dude?
Just be patient with it. Be very, very consistent. I feel like too many people just, want to learn and not take the action. It's a lot of just action. You learn from the action. So if you just start working that phone every second of the day, I mean, you're just going to get better at talking to people. You're going to learn, because they're going to ask you questions and stuff you're not even going to know about until you get back to them and you look into it. So I feel like that's one of the best things you could do is just be patient and take massive amounts of action.
Eric, I know that this might be a redone questions, but for you, what was the one thing that actually really helps you to get your, like what's the one thing that actually really helps you to actually do the first deal?
The one thing, same answer, honestly, just action, massive freaking amounts of action. Just ugly amounts of action, man. My girlfriend thinks I'm psycho because I'm obsessed with wholesaling. I wake up in the middle of the night from a dream that I closed, a crazy deal. It's just, you got to get crazy about it. You got to get obsessed with it. So
awesome.
Get obsessed. That's the best advice.
Gotcha, man. You didn't wake up saying wholesale, did you? Wholesale.
Huh? No, I normally went to bed saying that. Wholesale.
Awesome, man. You guys, Eric, I want to say thank you so much, dude, for jumping on this interview with me, dude. I really, really appreciate it. For those of you guys who want to reach out, I'll make sure I'll drop it in the descriptions. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Smash the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification. Wait, Eric, now, do you have any social media platform that that I can connect with you, dude?
Yeah, no, my Instagram is Eric Schmidt, or Eric_Schmidt 96. That's my Instagram. You guys could follow me, message me if you have any questions. Or
you have a other social media, YouTube channel?
No, I used to do YouTube and stuff like that. Now I'm too lazy. I'm too busy with just wholesaling. So.
Awesome. You guys, thank you so much, Eric. Once again, man, thank you so much for your time. For those of you guys who are new, who are just starting out, going at this, and you're thinking about giving up, or you're just collecting and gather information and you're being paralyzed by overload information, not sure what to do, take action. Just take action. Just take action, and action plus action equal massive action. Massive action will get you your first wholesale deal. Eric, Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, dude. Have a great rest of your day, dude.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks, Khang.
Not a problem.
I'll see you.